Today, we're going to talk about how the federal government shutdown is affecting millions of Americans who rely on the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, better known as SNAP. Over the past few weeks, many families have begun to worry about where their next meal will come from. This situation is complex and multifaceted, so we're going to break it down in detail, from what SNAP is to alternative food assistance resources available right now. SNAP, formerly known as food stamps, was created to support low-income families and ensure that every person has access to healthy food. Monthly benefits are provided through electronic EBT cards, which help more than 42 million Americans feed their families. According to CBS News, 1 in every 8 Americans receives this assistance. That's a significant portion of the population, and for many, SNAP benefits are essential for survival. However, with the ongoing federal government shutdown, things are changing. The U.S. Department of Agriculture has announced that after this month, SNAP benefits will no longer be distributed. On the official SNAP website, there is a warning stating, "Ultimately, the source has dried up. As of November 1, benefits will not be issued." This announcement has caused concern among recipients who rely on these payments to feed themselves and their families. So why is this happening? The reasons are political. The government is experiencing a stalemate between parties. Each side blames the other for the halt in funding. Democratic senators point to Republicans, claiming they refuse to negotiate on healthcare subsidies, while Republicans blame Democrats for voting against program funding. Ultimately, it is not the politicians who are affected, but ordinary Americans. Low-income families, veterans, people with disabilities, and seniors on fixed incomes. It's important to understand that SNAP is not just a social program. It's real support that ensures people have food on their tables. For many, it is the only way to feed their families, especially in major cities where food costs are high. Without regular access to these benefits, families may face a real threat of food insecurity in the coming weeks. If you are a SNAP recipient expecting benefits that will not arrive in November, it's important to know that there are alternative resources to help feed your family. Many states and private organizations have already started preparing to support those in need. Information about these resources is available on local websites and through helplines that connect people with food assistance programs. One key resource is Feeding America. This is the largest national network of food banks and meal programs in the U.S., covering all 50 states, the District of Columbia, and Puerto Rico. Feeding America provides emergency food assistance, and given the SNAP payment delays, their work has become especially critical. On their website, you can locate local food banks by zip code and learn about additional support programs. Another way to get help is by calling 211. This is a free service that connects callers with local resource centers, providing information on government services, food banks, and meal programs. The 211 service is available in all 50 states, including the District of Columbia, Puerto Rico, and the U.S. Virgin Islands. It's a simple and convenient way to access up-to-date information about available support in your area. There's also the Emergency Food Assistance Program, or TFAP, which is part of the U.S. Department of Agriculture. TFAP provides free emergency food assistance to low-income households across all 50 states, the District of Columbia, Puerto Rico, as well as Guam and the U.S. Virgin Islands. The program is administered at the state level, so to receive assistance, you need to contact your local TFAP manager to check eligibility. It's also important to remember that many people do not use all their SNAP benefits each month. Benefits are valid for 1 year from the date they are issued, so unused funds on an EBT card can still be used in the future. This is especially relevant for those affected by delayed payments due to the government shutdown. Local charities, churches, and community initiatives are also crucial sources of food assistance. Many volunteer projects organize free community fridges and food distribution points in cities and smaller towns. Some of these resources can be found through apps like Food Finder, while others are shared through local communities and social media. The government shutdown highlights just how dependent millions of Americans are on public support programs. For ordinary people, this is not just numbers or bureaucracy. It has real consequences for daily meals, health, and family well-being. While politicians debate blame, ordinary Americans are figuring out how to feed their children and provide for themselves and their loved ones. SNAP remains a vital program that helps millions manage daily needs. Even in challenging conditions when federal payments are delayed, there are resources to ensure people don't go hungry. Knowing about them, using them when needed, and sharing information with those in need is crucial. Despite political disagreements and funding difficulties, the American community continues to support its citizens. Charities, community initiatives, and government programs help mitigate the effects of delayed SNAP payments and provide access to food for those most in need. In conclusion, the suspension of SNAP payments is a serious challenge affecting millions of Americans. However, there are ways to minimize the impact, access local resources, and use remaining benefits to keep families fed. Stay informed, check reliable sources, and don't hesitate to seek assistance. Help is available, and even in difficult times, people find ways to support each other and care for their families. This is a story of how federal policy directly impacts the daily lives of millions of people and how communities find ways to cope. SNAP remains an essential part of the support system, and alternative resources provide a lifeline to those in challenging circumstances, ensuring access to food and maintaining stability for many Americans.